Hey, how's it going? Welcome back, my beautiful sinners, to another great and amazing, majestical, family-friendly, and vegan-friendly, moist video with your boy, the Savior. That's right, welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, which is highly likely, go down below and subscribe and lubricate yourself and hit the goddamn subscribe button, okay? If you're tired of the same old regurgitated content and the bland commentary channels, check out my other videos, check out my music that I make on Spotify, join the channel today, become a sinner, because let's face it, you're a goddamn depraved little sinner, and you need some saving from your big old daddy Warbucks over here, okay? That's right, today I'm discussing the new Marvel Wolverine video game coming out in probably, I don't know, 500 years time. Now, let's be real, okay? Most video games suck ass, okay? They suck complete ass, okay? And not in the good way, okay? They are just mostly terrible. The same old regurgitated, recycled content that we see time and time again, okay? The same old mechanics, the open world BS tropes that we see in modern day gaming, where it's not difficult, it feels like you're watching a goddamn movie instead of playing a video game. Do you remember video games back in the PlayStation 2 genre? Back in the PlayStation 2 era of gaming, okay? It was actually video games. Now it just feels like we're playing a goddamn movie. Now, that's not to say that there aren't good modern day games. There are some exceptions, like, of course, God of War or Ghost of Tsushima. So, the new Marvel's Wolverine video game, Marvel's Wolverine, okay, that will be coming out in the next few years, I guess, okay, will be made by Insomniac Games, okay, and they are great developers, okay. They have made Ratchet and Clank, okay, before it turned to absolute BS. I mean, the new one is good, but I mean the classics are, of course, the best. And they made Spyro. They even made Spider-Man. And I've got to admit, I don't really like that kind of open world, generic, cinematography kind of video game where you're just zipping around. It feels like you're playing a goddamn movie, just mashing buttons, okay? I mean, let's face it, Marvel's Spider-Man isn't the most complex video game, but it is fun, okay? And they have made some quality games in the past. So if they are the developers to bring back Xmen, one of the greatest superhero franchises of all time, in my opinion, much better than the Avengers, much better than DC's superheroes, Xmen has always felt way more grounded in my opinion, and I could really get on board with the whole Xmen universe. There have been some absolute terrible movies, of course, but, you know, Logan, for example, was an absolute masterpiece, okay? It was so good, and the original X-Men were just absolutely amazing as well. Some good quality superhero entertainment that doesn't completely numb the masses, you know, that actually, because let's face it, why do we love superhero movies and video games so much? It's because we want to have that power fantasy. Most superhero films and entertainment and video games are just generic BS that just make you feel like, wow, I can see explosions, I can see all of this stuff going on that is absolutely pointless and meaningless, and it's just a power fantasy. There are some good quality superhero films out there and video games out there that really actually make you feel like a superhero, as IGN might say, okay? But they actually really change the game up, and they actually really make you think about the hero dynamic and the superhero dynamic, and what it is to be a hero, what it is to be a villain, what it is to have responsibilities and power. The first original Spider-Man did that so well. And, you know, storytelling is so important because that is how we shape our morality and philosophy in the real world, and we need more of that, and that is why I like X-Men so much. So I'm sorry for that little rant. TV shows like The Boys, okay, they actually deal with what real superheroes would actually be like. That is why I'm so excited to see the new Marvel's Wolverine video game, because they could finally do something interesting with this IP and with this franchise of X-Men that we haven't seen done since Logan, and we haven't seen anything like this in a video game for so long, okay? So, Insomniac, okay, they are great game developers, okay, and I really feel like they can make great video games, of course, but what I'm worried about is the critical times that we live in, okay? We are literally living in a dystopia. We have basically lost a lot of our freedoms, okay? And pretty much now it's very difficult to basically do anything against the main narrative, which is pretty depressing, and that is why we have to fight this dystopia, but that's a video for another day. But you know, it's very different it's very difficult now to go against the mainstream programming, if you like, okay? So things can't be too edgy anymore. Everything has to basically be soft and easily consumable, and everything has to be diverse, and everything has to be all-inclusive, and video games can't really be hardcore edgy like they used to be back in the PS2 era of gaming, where there were so many different video games that, you know, would get banned in different countries because they would be so goddamn edgy and disturbing and disgusting. But that's the point of entertainment, is to explore. That is the whole point of entertainment and art and creativity, is to explore the limitless boundaries of what is possible from a creative mindset, to experience all of these different interactive worlds through video games and movies and stuff like that. That's the whole point of creating a work of fiction, so you can basically experience all aspects of life, okay? Like the Sith, Sidious once said, to appreciate the full nature of the Force, okay? One must study both the dark and the light. If you get what I'm saying, okay? So I like me some disturbing, disgusting stuff, okay? I like me some games like Manhunt. I like those types of video games that really push the boundaries, okay? And I feel like finally, with this new video game, Marvel's Wolverine, they can finally open up that gate once again and really let Wolverine loose and make it absolutely brutal, absolutely disgusting. We did see that in this video game, Xmen Origins, okay, and that was pretty good, okay? But now, with the full potential of modern hardware, it could just be absolutely amazing what they do with this. But what I'm worried about is, of course, now it's going to have to fit into this safety box, and it won't be able to take that many risks. It won't be able to be that violent or that gruesome, which is the whole point of Wolverine. It's always been too much of a family-friendly thing, and that was so great to finally see it let loose in Logan. So if they do that, then they could really make this something special, especially if they actually make the mechanics a little bit more interesting and actually try and change the formula of the modern day gaming industry at the moment and actually do something different with it. It could actually be a masterpiece. It could actually be one of the best video games to come out in a very long time, but who knows if they're actually gonna do something like that. My worry is, recently with modern day video games, okay, they haven't been taking any kind of risks. They haven't been changing up the formula whatsoever, and most video games now, even the ones that are supposed to be edgy and mature, like Grand Theft Auto, like God of War, that were super disgusting and depraved before, now they've all been kind of, you know, family friendly and very safe. Now they've all basically been washed with a family friendly coating, where it's not actually really mature content anymore, because they know now that basically little kids are playing these video games, so they can't, even though it's a mature game, they don't actually make it that mature because no one actually gives a damn about age ratings anymore. So it's a very confused time that we live in, where nothing is actually really made for a mature audience anymore, which basically makes everyone little man babies, and you know, that is just really frustrating to see. You know, we don't see mature narratives that often anymore, and within the actual gameplay nowadays, it's never actually that mature, or it never actually deals with that many mature themes like we used to see in older games. So I really hope that they actually bring that back and make it a really mature Wolverine game, because Marvel's Wolverine, the new 2021 Marvel's Wolverine video game, could be something absolutely amazing if they do it correctly and they make it a really interesting narrative. If they do something really interesting with the narrative and they really try and, you know, take Wolverine in a new direction with the mechanics and the gameplay, and not just do the same old recycled open world formula, maybe make it a linear game and maybe add some fresh mechanics and systems into that game, then this could be really special. So I have no idea. Who's to say? I just hope I'm not here in the next couple of years saying that Marvel's Wolverine sucks and the video game is a complete flop. I really hope that they actually do something different, because God knows we need something different to change up the formula. We need something different to finally change up the formula of video games and entertainment at the moment, and something really mature and unapologetically groundbreaking and disgusting could be what we really need. So yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Have yourselves a great day and stay moist, just like Wolverine's hands.